Hello. Welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, don't do unboxings, might do a few playthroughs in the near future, but today we are talking about a card game based on a digital version of a game that was present in a video game called The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. We are talking about Gwent, and in this game you will be constructing a deck of units and special cards. You will be playing these cards into a tableau in the hope that you can get more strength in your opponent. That will let you win the round and hopefully allow you to win the game. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules. We're telling you what we do like, what we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Gwent is worth your time and bother today and in the future. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button, all that YouTube bullshit. See you after this. Bollocks. So Gwent, how'd you play this game? So Gwent is, well, it's a two-player card game that has been expanded for up to 5 players in the physical version of this game. Like we said in the intro, this game is based on a digital card game that was available to play in a video game called The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. We didn't play that version of the game before we played the physical version, so we went into this blind, which may or may not be the best thing, I don't know. So in this game, you'll take on the role of a faction. There's 5 different factions in the box. At the start of the game, you'll be tasked with constructing your own deck. There are different types of cards in the deck. You've got leader cards, of which you will choose one and you'll place it in front of you. You've got unit cards, of which you have to choose a minimum of 22, and then you've got special cards, of which you can choose a maximum of 10. It's entirely up to you how many unit cards you put in your deck. There's 2 different types of units. There's standard units and there's heroes. Heroes generally have a better strength and they can't be affected by any sort of in-game events or effects, you know what I mean? So once you have chosen your deck, you'll shuffle it and you'll draw 10 cards. These are going to be the 10 cards that will be the core of your hand for most of the game. There are ways to dig cards out your deck, so whilst it does seem sort of limiting on the surface, it kind of bloody well is, yeah. So on your turn, you will choose a card from your hand and you will play it into the play area. The game comes with a paper mat, and you'll see on the mat you've got 3 different areas to play your cards, right? You've got the melee area at the top, then you've got the ranged area, and then you've got the siege area. So you'll look at the cards icons and you will place it in a corresponding area. Some cards have more than one icon, so they can be placed in, say, siege or in the ranged area. You also got special cards. These are things like weather, and you'll play the card and you'll resolve the effect. Yeah, weather cards go in a weather area and other cards do other stuff, right? So you'll keep playing cards into the play area. You'll keep score on how much strength you've got using the really poor scoreboard, yeah. And when a player passes, you'll total up the scores and the player with the highest score wins a round, yeah. Draws do not go one way or the other, so if there's a draw, you both lose the round, yeah. So yeah, you total up the score and then the player with the highest strength will win the round. You'll keep doing this when you have no more gem counters to use up. Obviously you lose a gem counter when you lose a round, and if you run out of gem counters, then you lose the game of Gwent, right? So what do we like about Gwent? So the first thing that we really like about this game is that the artwork on the cards is absolutely fucking fantastic, yeah. They've done really well with all of the illustrations on the cards mainly, and you've even got a fucking cow card in your deck, yeah, which is, funnily enough, paired with the Bovine Defence League, yeah. Funnily enough, a certain person that many people have beef with has just been released from prison, right? See what I did there? But yeah, just looking through the deck now, it does look like they've actually taken their time to hire a proper artist to do this. All of the illustrations sort of fit the atmosphere of the game, yeah. Yeah, we're really happy that there is at least something to cheer about when you are being disappointed by a game that promised so much, yeah. So the next thing that we quite like about Gwent is the fact that you get to choose what cards go in your deck, yeah. Most deck builders, they have you building your deck throughout the game. This one sort of flips it on its head. I don't think it's a new idea, but it flips on its head and it allows you to choose any cards you want out your deck. Obviously there's going to be some restrictions, yeah. The fact that there's a minimum restriction on the units that you can use and a maximum restriction on the special cards means that it's entirely up to you how big your deck is. Obviously, the more cards you get in your deck, the more choice you're going to have. It's going to be more difficult to find the cards that you want out of a bigger deck here. So you've got to weigh up that choice as to whether or not you want to pepper your deck with high value cards and leave some of the cards with lower values but have better effects out the deck, or maybe you just want a balanced deck which may or may not win you the game, or whether or not you just want to chuck a load of shit units in there and outplay your opponents when they run out high cards. Yeah. So there is a little bit of choice in there. Not really sure about the 10 card limit. I know know that was in the digital game, but it was completely different in that. In fact, that you started off with a basic deck, and when you went out into the open world, you would pick cards up from various places and add them to your deck. They can't translate that into this, or at least they haven't done. It might work better as like a kind of legacy game or something like that, where you are unlocking cards as you do stuff, but that's not in here, and that might be a problem later on. So the final thing that we like about Gwent is the fact that if you are absolutely desperate to play this game, then they haven't limited it to a 2-player game like it was in the video game. Yeah, you can actually play this up to 3 to 5 players. Yeah, doesn't really specify how you're meant to place the cards in your play area, because the paper mat that comes with the game is seemingly limited to 2 players. Yeah, so maybe you just have this imaginary play area and you just play cards into that. It's not specified in the rules, but yeah, if you are desperate to play Gwent with more players, then you have the opportunity to waste your life doing it with this one. So don't we like about Gwent? So yeah, there's hundreds of things that we don't like about Gwent, but I really don't have time to talk about all of them, so we have selected the most prominent diabolical things that we found in this abomination, right? So the first thing that we don't like about this pile of shit is the rulebook is fucking awful, yeah? It's just, how many pages is it? It's got like 12 pages, yeah? But the first 6 pages is just rambling bullshit about types of leader cards and all that sort of thing. Then you have got literally 2 pages of rules, and then it goes into the abilities that are already printed on the player aids, yeah? So why they wanted to put that in the rulebook, I have no idea. The rulebook sucks. It doesn't tell you fucking anything, yeah? I'm sort of scratching my head thinking like, well, what does that mean? What are you meant to do here? So for example, it talks about leader cards. It tells you that you place it face up. On the next page, it tells you that you can use your active leader ability. Well, why didn't they put that in the leader section, yeah? There's so many different questions I had on how to play the game. What does this mean? How does that translate into the 3 to 5 player game mode? Because you have got a separate little pamphlet which tells you how to play the 3 to 5 players, but it's not clear at all what you're meant to do. It just says that the standard rules apply in most cases, but a handful of changes are necessary to accommodate the additional opponents. Like what? Like maybe having a 3 to 5 player mat on the reverse side of the paper mat, which doesn't exist. It's not on it. Why the fuck didn't they do that? So whoever wrote the rulebook obviously has got a fucking hole in the head. It's lazy, it's too brief, and it doesn't go into any detail when you're talking about actually how to play the game, yeah? There's too many questions that you will be asking yourself when you play this. So the second thing that we don't like about this pile of horse shit is the fact that you're paying 35 quid and they give you a paper fucking mat, a one-sided paper mat, yeah? It's cheap, it's fucking nasty, it feels like British Rail bog roll, and it's just fucking disgrace, yeah? They should have give you a cardboard board, or no board at all, because you don't get one for the 3 to 5 player game. Why the fuck would they give it to you for the 2 player game only? Why is there a double-sided scoreboard when it's already on the 2 player mat, yeah? I mean, is this for the 3 to 5 player mat? I don't know what the fuck it's doing in there, but yeah, it feels like a massive rip-off. This is nothing but a 20 quid turd that they've tried to polish, and the component quality sucks. There's not even enough tokens for the 3 to 5 player game, yeah? I was looking for them thinking, why the fuck you meant to keep score, yeah? There's no fucking tokens in the box for a 3 to 5 player game to keep score. I don't know, I'm starting to get a fucking headache. So the final thing that we don't like about this game is that there really isn't any depth to the game at all. You're basically going to be playing a card and just trying to get more numbers on the board than your opponent, yeah? And the best way to do this is just to choose all the highest scoring cards when you're building your deck, yeah? You don't want to put any of those shitty fucking unit cards in. You're going to put all your fucking heroes in there, yeah? Because A, they're generally got more strength, and B, they are immune from most of the effects, yeah? It feels a bit shallow, yeah? You're just going to be playing a card hoping that your opponent hasn't drawn their best cards out of their deck, yeah? Because if they have, you're going to end up with like either a stalemate or just getting your ass fucking handed to you, yeah? I mean, aside from a couple of special abilities that you could probably have to the side, there's no reason why you couldn't play this with 1 or maybe 2 standard packs of cards, yeah? You could quite easily translate it over, so there really is no point in spending 40 quid on, was it, 5 decks of cards? What a fucking rip. So to summarise, is Gwent worth your time and bother today and in the future? So we are going to say no, this game sucks ass. Gwent has to be one of the greatest letdowns of all time, yeah? The digital version of the game simply doesn't translate into physical form, a bit like my fucking spirit animal. The rule book is lazy, it's unclear, and it just feels like a fucking cash grab, yeah? There's a reason why this game hasn't appeared from the time that The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was created to now. I mean, I don't know how many years that's been, but it's been a fucking long time, yeah? People have been clamouring for for a physical version of this for years and years and years, and it hasn't turned up because it doesn't fucking work. The mechanics are fucking outdated, yeah? I mean, play a card, add up your numbers, and if you get more than the opponent, you win. That's been around since people could fucking walk. And aside from the fantastic artwork, the production quality is fucking dog shit. This game is a strong contender for my Turd of the Year award, and we're only in fucking June, yeah? We've got 6 months of diabolical games to get through. But when we award the worst game of the year in January 26, yeah, at the moment I'm pretty convinced that the legendary card game will be top bollock for that award, yeah? So I would avoid this like accepting a 10-foot dogshit ended barge pole from a plague victim. So there you go, that is Gwent, the legendary card game. Remember, if you are new here, then why don't you fucking subscribe to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit that they tell you to do, right? We'll see you next time.